Lesson 2 in Module 4 is on linear and nonlinear expressions in X. So first we want to review a few terms just that you've learned in the past but maybe forgotten. The first, is the word term. And it's any product of an integer, power of X, and a constant, or just a constant. So product means multiplication. So if it's an integer power in X, or just a constant number. Basically, this is how I remember it. It's the parts of an expression that are added together. So it's the parts that are added together. And we'll do an example in a little bit so I can show you that. What is a constant? So we just said it's an integer and a integer power of X and a constant, or just a constant. Well, it's a fixed number. Basically, a constant has no variable. And then we have coefficients. Coefficient is just the number in a term being multiplied by the variable. So if I had a term that looks like this, 4x, the coefficient is just the 4, okay? Just 4. Don't write the x, okay? So let's kind of put these terms into play, starting with terms. How many terms does the expression 7x plus 9 plus 6 plus 3x have, and what are they? Well, remember I said up here they're the parts of the expression that are being added together. Remember, if there was any multiplication here, we could keep, change, or change subtraction to addition by subtracting is the same thing as adding an opposite. So if we want to look for terms here, we're looking for what's being added together. 7x is being added to 9, which is being added to 6, which is being added to 3x. So this has 4 terms. And then when it says what are they? Well, you basically rewrite this without the plus signs. 7x is a term, 9 is a term, 6 is a term, and 3x is a term. Then it says how many terms with coefficients does the expression 10x plus 15 have? Now, coefficients, remember, are just the number being multiplied by the variable. So how many terms are there? There's just one term. Okay, that term is just the 10x. But the coefficient is just the 10. Notice I didn't write an x with it. This 15 right here, okay, that's the constant. It's fixed. There's no variable. So just so you know, 15 is a constant. It doesn't change in the fact that 10x changes. We can go 10 times 1, 10 times 2, 10 times 3, and so on. But 15 is going to stay 15. Now, the part we kind of want to focus on right now is 10x plus 15 a linear or nonlinear expression x? Okay, and we're going to say that this is linear. And it's linear because the variable term is to the first power. Okay, so if we look at this here, 10x plus 15, sorry for the interruptions, but 10x plus 15, if we look at this right here, the variable term is this 10x, and the x is to the first power. That's what you want to pay attention to. If it's to the first power, then it's going to be linear. If it's to anything else, then it's nonlinear. And if I can switch over, if I can right now, if you look at this graphing calculator, and you can see that I have in 2x plus 9 right here, and notice we have a straight line, and that's to the first power, so it doesn't matter what you put in here, it's going to stay a straight line. But as soon as I raise it to anything besides 1, notice that we no longer have a straight line. Okay, even negatives, anything but 1, it's no longer a straight line. And if we look at the word linear, you see the word line right in it. So there's nothing wrong for something being nonlinear, but the way we know something is linear is if the graph is a straight line and if, or you know the variable term is the first power. And again, we're talking about the variable term. Let's look at a few more examples. How many terms the expression 5 plus, let me cross this out because I think I copied the wrong one. This should be 63x. Let me rewrite that. This is 5 plus 63x plus 2x to the 9th. Nope, I lied. I apologize, guys. I know I had changed the notes here. I think I had just crossed that out. 5 plus 9x plus 2x to the 9th. So I want to know how many terms we have here. What's being added together? How many things? 3 things. So we'd say there's 3 terms. And what are they? Well, we rewrite it without the plus sign. 5, comma, 9x, comma, 2x to the 9th. Okay. Now, same thing here. Still looking at this problem here. How many terms with coefficients does this expression have? And if you look, there are 2 terms. 9x, actually, let me write it like this. There are 2 terms that have coefficients. 9x and 2x to the 9th. What are they? The coefficients are just the number part. 9 and 2. Okay, they're just the number that is being multiplied. So it wants to know, is this a linear or nonlinear expression? Notice this variable term right here is to the 9th power. So we would say nonlinear. And what I'm going to write next is something you'll probably be writing a lot, or some version of it. When it says why or why not, we'd say the variable term, or sometimes I'll say x term if it's in the variable is x. The variable term is raised to something other than 1. Because remember, like I showed you in that graphing video, that graph, you raised it to anything besides 1 and it was no longer a straight line. So that's really what our focus is. We reviewed some terms, what a term, what a coefficient, what a constant is, but we're going to really focus on this linear and nonlinear expression next.